Good morning, everybody. Joe Chacho here. Happy Thursday to everybody. I'm going to go over just a couple things, and then we're going to go over some things that I think that we need to be on top of in the last quarter of the year off. When Americo came out with their new non-smoker rate for smokers on the Eagle plan, they raised their, they lowered their height weight chart. So you need to go to the Dropbox, go to the Americo Eagle tab, and print out another height weight chart. If you use the iPad, it's right there for you. But their weights have come down. So these are a little bit higher now. They've come down, both on the Eagle and the Ultra Protector. So there's new height weight charts for Americo. Get that. Okay. On the 14th of this month, Monday, I've got Mike Tarenti's going to be in town visiting with us, and he's going to be on the call talking about the new Whole Life program coming out, Jet Issue Whole Life, the Jet Issue term. So if you have any questions about it, please be on the call, and he'll go over it with you. This Monday, Heather's got a secret cast of 3 agents that are going to be on the call. And we're going to ask them some questions, and then we're going to open up like a forum for you guys to ask questions on maybe why you may be a little hesitant on signing up for Facebook leads. These agents who have bought them and sold them are going to answer the questions the way they feel based on the areas they're in. So this Monday, be on the call, Facebook panel, 3 agents, 2 agents for sure, 3 agents, what we've got lined up. Okay, let's go over some stuff here. What I want to do is start with this here. I pulled all of our applications since the beginning of the year, all the carriers, how many apps each carrier has gotten, how many premiums the carriers actually received. These are all submitted business numbers. And when I'm looking at this here, I'm looking at an average sale that we've made from January through yesterday. The average premium is $68.75. Some agents may do one for $100, some agents may do one for $30, but the average is almost $69 per application on a monthly bank draft that agents are showing clients and getting them to sign up for a little bit of higher premiums. United Home Life, their average premium is $99. Royal Neighbors is $62, as well as Transamerica, $62. Americo's is $81. So think about these numbers here when you see that as a group, year to date. What we're doing is that years ago was $40, then it went to $50, then it went to $55, then it says $60. Right now, ours is $68.75 to be exact. So this is something I'm going to talk about in a couple seconds on how I'm going to recommend you guys to crank up the end of the year, show some higher premiums. Okay. What I want to do today is kind of straightforward, no fluff. I'm going to go to the point, no sugarcoating. And some of the things I'm going to talk about is on your chicken list, the things that you're afraid to do, things you're going to hesitate to do, the things you're kind of saying, well, Joe, I don't know if I want to try those Facebook leads. Joe, I don't know if I want to go out of town for a couple of days. Joe, I'm afraid to do that there. We don't say that there, but yet when you're thinking about it, you're making excuses for something you've got no idea because you've never done it before. In business, there's gambles. In business, there's choices. Now, I believe that when you're in business, you've got to spend money to make money. If I was to sit and say, you know something, Frank, you need to spend $5,000 to get these new Facebook leads that nobody's ever tried before, you ought to just do it, and you sit and tell me, Joe, I want to think about it, I'm going to totally understand because that's a big exposure. You can lose a lot of money. But yet you can try these leads here for $350, the small package. We've got a package for $400. We've got a package for $525. So it's something, be on the call Monday to find out about this stuff here. And I actually want you guys to think about what I'm saying about the chicken list. You've got October, November, December, which is the last quarter of this year. You've got to sit and make some thought processes on what you want to accomplish, that you want hurdles you want to get over. I don't want to do this. I don't want to knock on doors. I don't want to ask for referrals. Write all this stuff down. And I'm not saying do it all right now to accomplish your entire chicken list within 5 minutes, but it's something you need to work on, because when you start working on these things here, you're going to start seeing yourself producing higher and making more money, which is the whole purpose of this call here. Okay. Here's a list I made up of things that I'm going to recommend you guys to put in your peace pipe and think about what you should do to end the quarter off great and to start year 2019 off with a bang. Do you need more carriers? When we're on these calls here, have you signed up for the Americo Eagle program because of the non-smoker rate for the Eagle? Have you signed up for Sagicor, who's given 15-point bonus till the end of the year? These are things as business people you need to think about doing. You sit and think, you go to a client's house, how are you doing? Fine. How's your health? I'm a diabetic. No problem. Are you a smoker or non-smoker? I'm a smoker. You know, are you planning on quitting? Do you want to quit? Yeah, I've been trying to quit. I'm going to quit. Man, right there's your hook. You can tell them, I've got a program that if you quit smoking within the next 3 years, I've got a program now that I can give you a non-smoker rate even though you're a smoker. This is what's happening, guys. You're coming in lower than everybody else's smoker rate. If a client already has a policy and they want to add to it and they want to quit, you can roll that policy into a brand new policy for you, and you can make more money. It's all about making money is the purpose of this call. Okay? Now, I'm going to be a little bit hard. I'm going to raise my voice a little bit, because what ends up happening is there's a lot of people on this call who have much more potential than what they're doing. They're hiding behind something because they're afraid to do something. It's that fear factor, the false expectations of appearing real of what's going to happen. Now, when you go knock on a door, do you have fear because it's the unexpected? No. You take a step back and you have a little bit concerned, and nobody's going to come out and bite you. Nobody's going to come out and, hit you in the head with a 2x4, but it's called guts to do this stuff here. Any business you guys go into, you quit us today and you go somewhere else and you're in sales, you're going to come across the same, if not something different. But overall, sales is the same when you work on commission. You work for yourself, yet you're not working by yourself. When you're out knocking on a door, what can I do to make money? All these thoughts have got to cross your mind on the things I'm going to tell you today, because this is what's going to help you prepare for tomorrow. Client questionnaire form I've got on Dropbox. Get it, print it, put it in your briefcase, and have it. You don't have a term carrier and somebody wants a mortgage protection. Somebody wants a universal life. You've never done one before. I've run out of applications, Ms. Jones. I've got a little client questionnaire form here. Let me get some help questions answered for you. From there, I'll go home, load it on my computer, find out what's available for you. I've got a couple ideas right now, but what I want to do, I want to get you the best program and save you some money. Gather the information. Get with me. Get with your manager. Call the carrier up and say, I've got a client, 5'2", 147 pounds. Date of birth is this here. This is her health. What can I do? The carriers will help you as well as your manager and me. But you need to sit and make a move, okay? We will always want to focus on what you specialize in, which is final expense. When you specialize and you're an expert in one, that's the most important thing, to learn it inside out. What I did, I learned final expense inside out, backwards and forwards. Then my friend Scott, who got me in the insurance business, tells me, Joe, you need to maybe do a little bit of individual health insurance. You can add to your, to your checkbook. I said, Scott, I don't know if I want to do it. He said, Joe, try it. You kind of he and haw because we get in our comfort zone. So he gave me a little swift kick in my butt, and I did it. I started doing individual cases. Then I started doing group health insurance. And I said, man, what if I'd have done that 6 months before that? What if I'd have done that a year before that there? The same thing we're speaking about here. Do you have term carriers? Do you know what term carriers you can write on your iPad? Do you know what term carriers you can write on your iPad on an e-app and get approved right then and there? Are you aware Americo has an e-app for their term? And if you write $35,000 of annualized premium within 6 months, which is coming up now at the end of the year, so you only basically got 2 months left, you write $35,000 of their term or $35,000 of their whole life, you get an 8% bonus on top of whatever your commission is. That's found money, guys. You can do the Eagle on your iPad, get an approval right then and there. Don't even speak to a human being in a company, talk to nobody. The same thing with their term product. Okay, right? That amount of money, $35,000, 8-point bonus. They send you a check, no questions asked. The reason they're doing that is because they did away with their trips. They no longer have trips that they used to go on every 18 months, and they said, what can we do? We're going to save some money and business. Take advantage of it. Okay, No Lapse Universal Life, Sagicor, they have a No Lapse Universal Life. They got a term product. They got a whole life product you can write. You get 15% more commission, no matter what your commission is. If you got a 400-point contract, you're going to get 415 points from now to the end of the year. It's added money to your checkbook. Joe, I've never done a No Lapse UL. Try it. You never did a whole life. You never did a final expense before when you first got in the business. But at least you got some confidence on how to do it. Client questionnaire, fill it out, send it to me. About 2 weeks now, maybe a month, I'm bringing on some companies with living benefits, IUL companies and annuity companies and term that has living benefits, okay? Chronic illness, critical illness, something that the market has been doing for a while, but I think it's coming back in to where people are looking for this here. Gentleman that's working with us now says to me, he says, Joe, do you have one of the old plans or do you have one of the new plans? I looked at him, I said, Bob, what are you saying, an old plan or new plan? Life insurance is life insurance. He goes, Joe, no, it's not. He goes, the old plan is you only get it when you die. Your beneficiary gets money when you die. The new plans are if something happens to you, you have a heart attack, stroke, cancer, you get money. So it pays you while you're living to help you out, and then it also pays your beneficiary when you pass away. Because what ends up happening, if you're sick, you have a heart attack, you have a stroke, you have a cancer, you may have to take off work. You may take a month off work, 2 months off work. A lot of people we deal with don't have 6 months of reserves. So the nice thing about these programs here is that the premiums are not much higher, yet if something happens, you get $25,000, $50,000 depending on the face amount, and that can sustain you when you're not working. You might only have 2 weeks of paid vacation. You may only have 3 days of sick pay. Now you've got money that you have coming in to where you don't have to rush to go back to work. So it takes care of you. So the new plan gives you money if something happens to you when you're alive, and then as well as the old plan, it gives you the balance when you pass away. We got to be innovative, guys. The last quarter, we're cranking up for 2019. We got to start looking at other avenues because you're independent brokers. You work for yourself. You've got to sell yourself, and you got to ask people what they're looking for. If you go into a house and you're only going to think about doing final expense, I'm not saying you're losing the wheel, but what happens is that your wheel is going to start bouncing a little bit because somebody else is going to come in and write that there. They're going to send in another card, and if you do sell them something, they're going to show them something a little bit differently. So you need to educate yourself to have a more vast knowledge of the marketplace. Okay, how many of you guys are signed up for Medicare Advantage? How many of you guys are signed up for Medicare supplements? This is something I recommend you to get involved with. Depending on the state you're in, the county you live in, I think here in Tampa, it's $223 when you sign somebody who already has coverage. So if they're switching from Humana to United, you make $223 thereabout here. California, it's higher. If somebody's aging in at age 65, I believe here is $423, $433, right around there. California, it's in the 500s, okay? My God, there's no premiums. There's no fees. There's no nothing. All you got to do is say, give me your little red, white, and blue card, and let me sign you up to make $450, $500, depending on where you live. And then the next year, you make the $225, whatever the premiums are. Think about this here. Streams of income is my philosophy. If I can have different streams of income coming from one lead, think about the additional amount of money you're going to make. When you sit in the corner by yourself and you're saying, oh, Joe, it's too much to learn. Joe, I don't have time. Joe, I got to do this here. Forget about it. Forget about it. You got to take this leap of faith to start doing these things, guys. You got to. I'm begging you. I promise you, once you start doing more of these things here, you're going to sit and say, wow, okay? Wow, okay? Okay. Daylight savings time is coming November 3rd, November 4th. So basically, you've got 30 days from today to be able to work the night shift to door knock. When the weather changes, when the time changes, come November 4th, which is a Sunday, starting that November 5th, that Monday, sun goes down here at 6. You go up a little bit north, it goes down at 5:30, goes down at 5:15. So the further north you live, the sun starts going down, so you can't be knocking on doors. I'm not really one to knock on doors at 7 o'clock at night in the dark, okay? I don't feel safe, and I'm a guy. If you're a woman, you're a young lady, I'm going to recommend you not to do it. If you make an appointment at nighttime for a client, make sure you tell them, please leave the light on outside so I know which one is your house, what kind of car do you have parked outside, because you don't want to knock at the wrong door, especially if you're a female. So you got to be cautious. Think about it. You got 30 days to start working some longer hours to crank it up. So in the month of October, you sit and think, if you work a little bit longer and you make 1 or 2 sales a week more because you're working the night shift, guys, that's going to add up. If you get more carriers, you get term, you get ULs, you got more ammunition that you can visit with people. More activity. Are you asking for referrals? Are you knocking on the house next door? I feel like a broken record, but you know something? The more times I tell you this here, and the more times you hear other agents speak about this here, and you see that there is potential to make money on knocking on a house next door, you're going to come out, cross that off the chicken list, and you're going to start doing it. Are you following up on your business? When you submit an application to Transamerica, is it going into the NIGO, N-I-G-O, not in good order? If you don't follow up with it, Transamerica doesn't say, hey, Frankie, this is Transamerica. We really love your business. We'll let you know that you left something off on your application. It's not going to happen. You got to go to the websites, check your business out either daily or every other day to see the progress. If it's in underwriting, if there's something missing, did you miss something? This is why a lot of agents are saying, Joe, if I go to a house and I write a paper application, I got to do that. I got to fill it all out. Then I got to come home, either scan it in or fax it in, or you got to send it through an actual secure server. Then when it goes in, something may be missing. I said to myself, if I was out on the streets every day and I had a client who really wasn't a blabbermouth, who talked a lot, I think I would do more e-apps if possible. I'd do more point of sales, and it all depends on the client's health. Because you said, think about it, if you do an actual phone app with a client, a straight point of sale, get the approval right then and there, it'd take anywhere between 18 to 20, 21 minutes to get the client approved. There's nothing to send in when you get to the house. There's nothing missing. There's not a missing signature. There's no amendments. There's no addendums. There's nothing that is needed after the fact. You do it, they hear the word that they've been approved as issued. You have them on speakerphone. You give them some nice little leave-behinds. You tell them, I appreciate your business. Here's my card. Can I have some referrals? And you go to the next person. You don't have to go home and fax nothing in. You don't have to check your computer as much to see if things aren't up to date. Things to think about. Okay. Are you going to show higher premiums? I told you that our average is $68.75. $68.75 average premiums. Speaking with an agent came in the office yesterday, day before yesterday, and I said, Jeff, how do you do your presentation? He likes price point selling. Ma'am, right now we've got a couple different programs. Does $150 fit in your budget? She tells him, what are you, crazy? I can't afford $150. Well, I'm just trying to see, what you can afford, because my job is to see what you can afford and what you qualify for. Does $100 fit in your budget? No way. What about 75? Well, I probably can afford 75. So now what you got is that you got price point selling. You're showing them higher premiums, and you're not going in on the chicken list and showing smaller premiums. I did a call about maybe a month ago on premiums of $40 compared to premiums of $60. Business is going to fall off the books no matter what. 10%, 15%, 20% is going to fall off no matter if it's free. They're still going to cancel for whatever reason. My thought process is if I can do $40 premiums and I can increase it to $60, I'm going to lose 20% on both sides. Yes, my chargebacks will be higher on the $60 than the $40, but the other 10 applications I'm writing are $20 per month higher in premium. So overall, I'm making a whole lot more money. Show higher premiums to increase your sales, to increase your checking account. Okay, one thing, then I'm going to wrap it up. There's a form that we have on the Dropbox for agents who want to go back and visit a client for Medicare Advantage. This is something we got from Humana. It's an actual future contact list, okay? You fill it out, have the client sign it, and this paper here gives you permission to call them back to where you're within the CMS guidelines. This is very important. You don't want to mess with CMS, okay? Tell the client, do you have coverage? Yes, I do. Say, well, listen, I'm an independent broker, represent a lot of different companies. We won't find out until the day of or maybe the day before what programs are available. If you like, please sign this paper here. I'll be happy to drop by, leave you some information to where you can kind of sit and think about if you want to change from who you have to somebody else. It gives you a way back in without breaking any CMS rules. Think about that. Okay, let's kind of wrap this up here. More carriers, term, universal life, learn a little bit about annuities. Let's talk about Medicare Advantage, Medicare supplements, bringing on different carriers. Americo, 8% bonus that they have on a six-month window. Sagicor's got a 15-point bonus till the end of the year. Think about these little itty-bitty things, guys, that you can sign up for these carriers that cost you nothing to sign up for them. So when you run across somebody who wants something higher. Right now you go to a client's house and they want a $25,000 or $35,000 whole life program to take care of their final expenses. That's what they want. When you do the comparisons in the little rate calculator that we offer everybody for free, and hopefully everybody has it. If you don't, get with Jay or Brian and they'll set you up on the phone. On how to do it. You can go there and you look up level benefits with all the carriers, and they're going to come up with a premium. When you change the actual calculator to where you get SIWL/traditional, you're going to see Sagicor pop up. The rates are unbelievably a whole lot less. So think about it. Instead of you getting the client a $25,000 with a regular simplified issue, questions are a little bit harder now. They look a little bit further back, but if you've got a healthy client, you can get them a $50,000 program for almost the same price, if not lower. Look at it. Go to your calculator. Play with it. 65 male smoker, 65 male non-smoker. Go level, go simplified issue, traditional, and see the differences. So when you see how the difference is less expensive, when you're speaking with a client who has a $10,000 policy and they want to add something to it, instead of you getting them 10 plus 10 more, you may be able to get them one, wrap everything together, and give them one for 25 with Sagicor, and you make more money. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. If not, I'm going to talk to you all day long. Don't forget, Monday, I'm going to have a panel of 3 agents talking about Facebook leads. It'll be an open forum. You can ask questions. You can do whatever you want. How do you do this here? Do you knock on doors? Do you make phone calls? What type of client is it? Are they receptive to you? They want to speak with you? All this stuff here, I invite you to ask these questions because the Facebook leads are on fire right now. Thank you for your time, your support. Appreciate your business as always. Make it a great day. Call me if you need me. Thank you, guys.